Hello, it's Rory from RH Coaching, and I want to just take some time to talk about my story, talk about how and why I do what I do, and I want to talk about my background so you can get an understanding for where I came from, and maybe that can relate to your own story as well. Because I'm a strong believer that, you must follow your passion. I'm a strong believer in fate. I'm a strong believer that stuff happens for a reason, and I'm also a strong believer that the way that you look and feel and how you choose to prioritize your body can massively impact on your life and can massively impact on the quality of your life, the fulfillment that you get out of life. But this is a belief that I have gained over the years based upon my own story. So for those of you who don't know me, I specialize in body transformations. I help people radically and sustainably change the way they look, change the way they feel, but do so in a way that is sustainable. We're not just talking weeks or months, we're talking years. So I help people by adjusting their mindset, changing their habits, okay, getting into good habits around their lifestyle and their nutrition and their exercise routines. And I get people to achieve these body transformations through a sustainable, easy, natural process. And the people I work with will describe the process as exactly that, easy and natural, okay, and easy to maintain, sustainable. There is no fads, there is no diets, there is no short-term way of thinking. We are in this for the long run. And the people that work with me share the belief that if you look and feel better, if you look and feel good about yourself, you can make a massive impact on your quality of life and those people that you hold dear in your life. Your fulfillment of life goes up. You can create more amazing memories. You've got more energy, more self-esteem, more confidence, more pride. And this has all come about from my own journey and how it's changed my life in terms of working on my health and my fitness, and how that has made a massive impact to my own life. So I got into health and fitness when I was in my teens. I've always been a fairly active kid. I played a lot of sport. I was very active in my lifestyle in general. I didn't spend too much time inside. I was always out and about. And I generally ate quite well. I had quite good nutrition growing up. I was eating good quality food, a lot of homemade food. I wasn't eating too much junk. But of course, there's the odd treats and stuff in there as well. But when I got to kind of adolescence, I really started struggling mentally, more than anything. But this I found was due to the way that I looked and felt about myself. So like a lot of kids do when they get to adolescence times, it's stressful anyway. So I had a lot of stress in my life around schooling and education. I wasn't the brightest kid in the class. I really did not like school. I didn't like the education. I didn't like taking exams. I didn't like anything of that. I just wasn't educationally inclined. I wasn't up for the schooling system, but I pushed through it. But that caused a lot of stress. Okay, the fact that I had to study and I had to take tests, and those tests were stressful. Okay, and this pressure that what you do now is going to affect your career choices and the rest of your life. Okay, and that pressure kind of mounted up quite a lot. Couple that with the fact that I had stress around relationships and friendships at that sort of time, like a lot of adolescences do, okay? But a lot of the problem that I had was my self-esteem. I had very bad acne at that time. I did not like the way I looked at all. I hated seeing myself in photos, in the mirror, things like that. My confidence levels were knocked massively, which didn't help. So when I got to probably mid-teens, then I started training for the first time. So, like I said, I was playing sport already, but I started actually training for the first time. And this training began literally just in the living room of my house. My father had weights, had barbells and dumbbells just at home. That, he got out the loft and dusted off and said, right, we're going to start using these. Yeah. So I remember doing a bench press exercise, lying on the coffee table, yeah, with the weights. And that kind of started off the training for me. And I started getting more and more into that. I started doing little routines at home, following influencers and advice that I just simply found on the internet, on YouTube, or through searching through the internet. And I'd find these hints and tips and ways of training, because very early on I noticed how training made me feel a lot better. okay? And how all the feelings of inadequacy and jealousy and resentment that I had for other people as I went through my schooling years and went through my adolescent years disappeared when I was training. When I was at school and when I was surrounded by people, all I wanted to be was like someone else. Someone more popular, someone more confident, someone more clever, someone who got more attention, someone who looked better. That's what I wanted. So, but when I trained, that feeling went away and I was just focused on that sensation of training. So I really started getting into the training, and I was following the advice and hints and tips off people from YouTube and people from the internet, and just following my own, following advice that these guys would give me. And some worked well, others I didn't get on so well with, okay? But slowly I started to make progress. I looked into nutrition as well, and I started taking care of my own meals, okay? Whereas before I was eating with the family, I was eating what they were making for me. Now I'd start making my own meals and start learning about nutrition and tweak things a little bit. And again, this takes my mind away from the stresses of life. I was focusing on myself and not focusing on other things, okay? And slowly I started to see these changes actually physically, which is what I really wanted. I wanted that physical result. I wanted to actually change the way I looked. I hated the way I looked. I had poor skin and I didn't have the confidence. And I thought, well, if I can improve my body, then hopefully I'll feel like I look better, and I won't have to worry about the skin and worry about the self-esteem, because I'll have a better body and I'll feel more comfortable in that, okay? Ultimately, I wanted attention. I wanted praise. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to feel like I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be myself and be rewarded for that. So that's what I was aiming towards. And as the years went on, I then joined my first gym and I started training there. Now, I remember going into the gym and they would do an introduction session, and they would get you on the treadmill, and I'd do like 10 minutes on the treadmill to get used to the machine. And I went through the introduction session, but then that was the last time I used those machines. Straight after that, I went straight down into where the weights were, and I started training with the weights, because that's what I wanted to do. That's what gave me the high. That's what gave me release those endorphins in my brain. That's what made me feel good. So I started training properly in the gym and started using some proper equipment and started building my physique through my gym training and also my nutrition at home. My learning around nutrition got better. I started learning more. I started really understanding nutrition and how it benefits me and how it can benefit and get me my results. And a combination of that nutrition and that training, I was starting to see some really good physical changes. But what kept driving me was that motivation that I wanted to look like something else. I didn't want to look and feel the way I felt. I wanted more attention. I wanted more pride. I wanted more confidence. I wanted more energy. And that drove me to keep going to the gym day after day after day. If I couldn't get to the gym, I'd do stuff from home, and I would take control of my nutrition, and I would eat good stuff most of the time. I would tweak my diet, I would adjust it, I would try new things, and slowly but surely the progress started to come, and I started to feel much more confident. I started to build a physique that other people started noticing. I started getting good compliments about that, and over time this really led to my energy, confidence and pride levels increasing. And since then, a lot of stuff's changed in my life. I went to university, but then I dropped out. You might have remembered me saying just now I didn't really get on with education, and yet I still went to university. I think I was slightly pushed into that by my family. But shortly after going, I actually said, no, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, dropped out of university and took up other courses where I had to live away from home and all the sort of stuff that I would not have had the confidence to do if I hadn't have built and improved myself, built my physique and improved the way that I look and feel about myself. That made a massive, massive difference. So I wouldn't have had the confidence to go and do these courses and meet more amazing people and get into some awesome relationships with people and to really build my social circle. And all of this and all the memories that I have created is down to improving myself, because I would not have had the confidence or energy to go ahead and do that if I hadn't have worked on myself and had the initiative to improve the way I look and feel about myself. Since then, I moved location, okay, met the partner I'm with now, and you know, we've got a happy life, moved into our first home. All this sort of stuff would not be possible if I hadn't have gone through that process of prioritizing and improving myself. And to the point where I'm now working and helping other people do the same thing, because it inspired me so much, and it really cemented my belief that actually the way that you look and feel about yourself massively impacts on every other area of your life. If you haven't got the energy or the confidence or the pride to do something, if you're not living your life to the full, if you think there's something missing, then focus on your body, focus on your health, see if you can improve that, because I guarantee by making those improvements from prioritizing yourself, you will be able to impact the other areas of your life. Whether it's kids, whether it's family, whether it's your social life, whether it's your work life, whether you own a business, you will be able to improve all of that if you focus on yourself and prioritize yourself. And that is the message I'm trying to put out, because I've been through it, and the literally hundreds of people that I work with are experiencing the same thing. They are improving their life. They are living a more fulfilled life. They're creating more amazing memories because they are prioritizing and improving their bodies, and they are prioritizing and improving themselves. They're getting stronger mentally and physically, and everyone else who surrounds them, everyone else they hold close, everything else they value is improving because they are prioritizing themselves. So that's my journey, that's my story, that's how I got into doing what I do now. I was in a place of very, very low, I was in a very low place, and I decided that I wanted to improve the way that I looked and felt about myself, because that was going to lead me to a much higher quality of life and more fulfillment in life. So I underwent this journey to do exactly that, and the result is what you see now. I'm super confident, I'm super happy, I'm proud of what I've achieved, and I keep pushing the limits. I keep pushing myself to the next step, both physically and in my business and in life. I have the confidence and the energy to really make the most out of life, and I want to help other people do exactly that, and that's really what's inspired me to do that. So I thought sharing my journey is a really good way to help you guys get to know me, and for you to understand that I've been there as well. I've been there as well. I've been there in a place where I resent and I'm jealous and I just want to be someone else, okay? I don't like my own identity. But by working on yourself, you create your own identity, and you end up impacting every other area of your life that is important to you. Okay, so when I was a kid, the things that are most important to me, the value was family and relationships, and was, you know, success. I wanted to make something of myself, but there was no way in hell I could have done that when I felt like I did. Okay, now having gone through this process and living this healthier, fitter lifestyle, I am doing exactly that. I have a good family, I have good friends, okay, and I'm making myself and growing myself in my work and in my life. So I want you guys to achieve exactly the same thing. I hope this story's resonated with you a little bit. I hope it gives you a bit of clarity onto where I came from, and hopefully give you an understanding that, you know, I've been there, I've done that, I know how you feel, and maybe I'm therefore the best person to help you achieve what you want to achieve as well. Guys, if you want to live a higher, more fulfilled life, then start prioritizing yourself. Work on yourself physically, mentally. Start improving the way you look and feel about yourself. Build energy, build confidence, and build pride, and allow yourself to live the rest of your life being able to create more amazing memories with the people that you love.